Right now, you might have a number sitting inside your phone that can change your entire day. It can buy food, it can pay rent, it can move across the world in seconds. It can make a stranger hand you coffee, fuel, clothes, medicine, or a ticket to another country. But if you look closely, nothing is really there. Not food, not gold, not land, not a cow, not a sack of grain, just digits on a screen. And yet, everyone acts as if those digits are real. Your boss sends numbers to your bank shows the numbers to you. A shopkeeper sees those numbers disappear from your account and appear somewhere else. Then they hand you something physical. A sandwich becomes yours because invisible numbers moved between machines. That is the strange magic of money. It feels solid because it controls real things, but underneath it, money is one of the greatest acts of collective imagination in human history. It only works because enough people agree to pretend together. This does not mean money is fake. Fake things can be ignored. Money cannot. Money can feed a family, start a war, build a city, destroy a life, or make a person work for 50 years. Money is imaginary in the same way borders, laws, and companies are imaginary. They exist because humans believe in them together. And once enough people believe, the belief becomes stronger than stone. Imagine a world before coins, banknotes, credit cards, and banking apps. A small group of humans live together. They know each other's faces, families, debts, favors, and failures. If someone gives you meat today, you may help them later. If someone repairs your tool, you may share food when your hunt succeeds. Nobody needs a price tag on everything, because memory does the accounting. In a small tribe, trust can live inside relationships. But then, human groups became larger. Villages grew, farms appeared, grain piled up, animals were counted, workers had to be fed. Temples and rulers had to track who owed what, who paid what, and who had already received their share. Suddenly, human memory was not enough. You could not run a growing society by saying, "I think that family gave 3 baskets of barley last moon." So humans began turning memory into marks. Long before money became paper in your wallet, it was clay in someone's hand.
In ancient Mesopotamia, people used small clay tokens to keep track of goods like grain and livestock. A cone, a sphere, a little shape pressed into clay. Each one could stand for something real. A sheep, a jar, a measure of cereal, a day of labor. Before writing became poetry, law, religion, or literature, it was partly bookkeeping. The first ledgers were not romantic, they were receipts. And that is one of the deepest truths about money. Money is not just an object, it is a way of remembering obligations. Who gave, who received, who still owes. At first, the things used as money often had some physical usefulness or beauty. Grain could feed people, cattle could reproduce, metal could be shaped, shells could be worn, salt could preserve food. But the object was never the whole story. A cowrie shell is just a shell until a community agrees it can settle a debt. A metal disc is just metal until a ruler stamps it and people trust the stamp. A banknote is just decorated paper until everyone around you treats it like stored power. Across Africa, Asia, Europe, and Oceania, cowrie shells became money because they were small, portable, durable, recognizable, and hard to fake. Money needs to survive movement. It needs to be counted. It needs to be accepted by people who were not there when the original deal happened. That is where coins changed the game. In the ancient kingdom of Lydia, some of the earliest coins appeared around the late 7th century BCE. They were made from electrum, a natural mixture of gold and silver. Their power was not only the metal, it was the stamp. The stamp said, "Someone important stands behind this." A coin turned trust into something portable. You no longer had to weigh raw metal every time, or personally know the person you were trading with. The coin carried a promise from a larger system. It allowed strangers to cooperate. That may be money's greatest trick. It lets people who do not know each other behave as if they share the same memory. A farmer can sell grain to a merchant. A worker can earn coins. A builder can buy tools. The same little objects pass through thousands of hands, carrying trust from one stranger to another. Money is social memory you can hold. But sometimes, money barely needs to move at all.
On the island of Yap in Micronesia, people used huge stone discs known as rai. Some were so large they could not easily be moved. Their ownership depended less on physical possession and more on shared knowledge. Everyone knew the story of the stone, who brought it, who owned it, who transferred it. That sounds strange until you check your banking app. Your money is not sitting in a neat pile with your name on it. Most of it is an entry in a database. A modern bank balance is closer to a public agreement than a treasure chest. The bank says the number belongs to you. The payment system respects it. The government regulates it. The shop accepts it. You believe it. Everyone else believes everyone else believes it. And that circle of belief is the machine. Modern money makes this even clearer because most of it is not printed at all. In modern economies, much of the money people use is created by commercial banks when they make loans. A bank approves a mortgage and a new deposit appears in an account. New purchasing power enters the system as a promise to repay. So money is not only coins and notes, it is debt, it is credit, it is trust written in numbers.
This is why the phrase, just paper, misses the point. Paper money does not need to be valuable as paper. A bank card does not need to be valuable as plastic. A payment app does not need to be valuable as pixels. The value comes from the network around it. Law, taxes, banks, courts, shops, habits, and millions of people waking up every morning and continuing the same story. When that story is strong, money feels invisible. You tap your card, scan a code, count cash, send a transfer, and life continues. But when trust breaks, money becomes visible very quickly. Prices rise too fast. People rush to spend before value disappears. Sellers demand a different currency. Families stop saving in the money they are paid in. The spell weakens, and everyone suddenly remembers that money was never magic by itself. It was confidence. This is why governments and central banks care so much about inflation, banking stability, counterfeiting, and public trust. They are protecting a shared belief system. And still, the strange part is that this belief system works better than almost anything humans have invented. Money lets a farmer, programmer, truck driver, factory worker, shopkeeper, teacher, banker, and doctor coordinate without sitting around one giant campfire planning the whole thing. No single human understands the full chain, yet the chain works. A tomato appears in a supermarket because thousands of strangers trusted prices, wages, contracts, invoices, banks, fuel payments, shipping costs, and salaries. Money connected them without requiring them to know each other, love each other, or even speak the same language. That is why money is dangerous and brilliant at the same time. It can make people feel worthless when they have too little of it. It can turn land, time, attention, and status into things that can be bought. But it also lets humans cooperate at impossible scale. A village can run on favors, a civilization needs ledgers, and the modern world runs on the biggest ledger ever created. Every salary, loan, price, bill, tax, investment, debt, subscription, and bank balance is part of a giant human agreement that says, this number means something. Your ancestors once lived in a world where value was visible. Food was food. A tool was a tool. A cow was a cow. Today, value often looks like a glowing number on glass. You cannot eat it, you cannot wear it, you cannot build a house from it. But because millions of strangers believe in the same system, that number can become bread, medicine, electricity, shelter, or a plane ticket.
Money is not powerful because it is real in the way fire is real. It is powerful because humans are the kind of animal that can make imagined things real together. We invented symbols, trusted them, fought over them, stored them, borrowed them, printed them, digitized them, and then built the modern world on top of them. So the next time you open your banking app and see a number staring back at you, remember what you are really looking at. Not treasure, not paper, not metal, a promise, a memory, a shared hallucination so powerful that the entire world wakes up every morning and agrees to keep it going.